All right. So we are live. I'm gonna go on my page and make sure that I make it live so that we can see the comments as they come in.
Okay.
Um, says I'm live. I don't see myself live. That's crazy. Oh, now I do. Let me put it to public. Okay. I'm gonna go on my page and make sure that I turn it off so that we can. Okay. So, if you want to see people tune in, you want to wait till everyone come in. I don't want you to start reading, and then we have one viewer. I want to at least get like 5 or 6, 10 come in. Sometimes it takes them to come in. But in the meantime, before you start reading, Miss Quincy, could you just I was just even getting to know you, finding out that you're a teacher. Mm-hmm. And that you do whatever you make you're a bartender. Well, you was you still if you're a bartender, I always think you always have that skill. So if you was a bartender, you always okay. So and your shirt, I told you the cocktails and literature, that is your brand, right? Yeah. Could you please just introduce yourself? We have 5 people on right now. If you could just start introducing yourself. Aisha Flowers just came on. She has one of the dopest book clubs that you can find. So she's on. She said, hey. I don't know if you can see, but just introduce yourself and your brand, and you can get started.
Okay. Hey, everybody. My name is Tatiana Ellis, but I go by the pen name Queen T. I am an author, mother, educator, and I write urban fiction, urban paranormal, and urban romance. And I'm pretty much all around. I write what I feel. Sometimes it may take me to fantasy world. Sometimes it's fictional world, but whatever I feel is what I write. I currently have 12 books available on Amazon. Some of them are reading and republishing, and they should be back up by this week. I'm working on 2 books for this month. So the first book will be Unattainable Love, which will be coming out, fingers crossed, Valentine's Day. But if not Valentine's Day, I definitely will have it within the next day, 16th or the 17th.
That's what you're reading tonight, right? That's what you're reading tonight, a chapter? Yes. We're going to get into that.
And the book I have after that is called The Brooklyn Boss Who Colored My Soul. And that book is also urban romance, and it will be out the end of this month.
Oh, I look forward to seeing and reading your books, especially we're going to hear tonight because it's Valentine. And I know it's going to be those things. I can only imagine that with you bartending and knowing how to whip them juices up and all that it's going to be nice and steamy. 1 second, I have Tasha. Tasha may be joining. That. Okay, she just said she's not going to make it. That's a sec, so we done with that. And Candy, how you doing, Candy? You is someone you will love to know. She is very dope on marketing and promoting. I could put it like that. She helps a lot. So honestly, when we get off, you can always they inbox you and you inbox them. Okay. But please buy. You can show. Do you have your book cover or anything?
I do actually. That's
fine. Because that's what this platform is for. It's for like previewing books, and then like you said, it's gonna come out. But you can start reading your chapter, and you can go when you're ready.
Okay. Let's start now. Okay. Chapter 1: Love Right. As the sound of the next period bell echoed throughout the hall, I took a much-needed breath in order to better prepare myself for the 15 to 25, sometimes rowdy young adults that would be entering my second period English class. I was a second-year high school teacher at Bayside High School of Music. My day consisted of waking up at the crack of dawn to prepare myself for the grueling hour-and-a-half train ride from Bushwick, Brooklyn to Flushing, Queens, to teach 5 groups of 15 to 25 15-year-olds. Come on in, guys, and have a seat, I advised my class. With my back turned to them, I began wiping the chalk-covered blackboard with the opposite side of the black and white eraser, trying my hardest to mask the and individual conversations I heard in back of me. Nah, fuck that bitch. She needs to be dealt with. That funny-looking bitch thinks she's better than everyone. Yeah, she thinks she's cute because she mixed or something, I overheard in back of me. Placing the chalk-covered eraser on the ledge, I rotated my 3-inch Jimmy Choo heels in the direction of loud voices. Shanae, Lauren, I don't know why you keep bullying me, but I don't think I'm better than anyone, the quiet yet voice whispered back. I couldn't make out who the tiny voice belonged to, but I definitely knew, before she named names, that the 2 elevated voices belonged to Shania Thompson and her best friend Lauren Spencer. These two young ladies were always in some mess. They made it their business to bully and pick on the smaller girls of their class almost every other day. Yes, you do, bitch. You think because yo daddy from Nene, where does bitch daddy from? Lauren turned to Shanae and sassed. Shifting her attention from Lauren to the scared young girl, Shanae rolled her neck back and forth, popping her gum in her mouth and said, some fucked up Spanish island. Cutting them off, the voice responded, I'm from Honduras. My father's from Honduras. As the volume of the once hesitant child increased, I was finally able to make out who it was, and I was instantly distraught at the events that followed. Aspen Arouzo was one of my brightest students. She read on a 12th grade level and wrote some of the most articulated, detailed essays I have ever read. Her and her twin sister, Athena, both took my second period English class, along with Lauren and Shanae, and both twins were like night and day. Aspen was more of the shy, reserved twin, while her older twin was the unpredictable wild card. Bitch, no one gives a fuck about where your light-skinned daddy from. You whack, his high yellow ass is whack, and so is that funny-looking sister of... Before Shanae could finish her sentence from the corner of my eyes, I noticed Athena charging towards the both of them, swinging her arms and connecting with Shanae's left eye, busting it on contact. As Shanae pummeled to the ground, Athena next made her way to Lauren, pinning her to the ground, wailing punch after punch on her large frame. Didn't I tell you both you bitches to leave my sister alone? Huh? Didn't I tell you? Athena thundered, continuing her assault on Lauren, who was now cowering in the corner in a fetal position. Rushing towards them, I worked tirelessly to separate the two young ladies, but the strong grip Athena had on Lauren was too much for me. Calling upon administrative staff for help, I glanced up screaming at the top of my lungs for help, while still trying to separate both of the girls. Let go! Let her go, Athena! Baby girl, please, let her go! I shrieked, still trying to pry the girls off of each other. After several more seconds of twisting and turning, Athena finally let go of the death grip she had on Lauren, flinging her bruised and battered body on the ground. Don't you ever touch my sister again. Don't you ever, Athena screeched, gathering her books and backpack off the ground. Okay, that's enough, Athena. That's enough, Principal Givens exclaimed. Miss Wright, please escort the Arousal sisters to my office now and have a detailed write-up of this incident in my office by the end of the day. Shaking my head yes in response, I snatched up Athena and Aspen, escorting them to the principal's office while he did the same with Lauren and Shanae. Damn, today's going to be one hell of a day.
I had to take my phone off of me because I didn't want you. First of all, now I love the sisters, Aspen sisters, because they totally fought together. I love it. And it makes me want to now go get the book, which is the point of this, right? When you said it may drop on Valentine's Day, so we can look out for it.
Yes.
Okay. Now I want you to please, now first I want you to put out there where the viewers can get you at, your page, your website if you have one, all your contact information.
Okay. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm pretty much on all social medias. My Facebook, I have a fan page. I have a personal page. I answer all of them. My fan page, fan group is Heart and Hustle Publishing. That's one of my like pages. I also have cocktailsandliterature.com, which is
my t-shirt. Show your t-shirt, girl.
Which is my website where you definitely find, I do blogs, I do updated posts. I post all of the things that I do have going on within, just the Queen Tea umbrella. I also have a read group, which is Sip and Read with Queen Tea. And I have another secondary reading group with my former pen sister, where we basically, interact with everyone. And that one is From the D to the Big Apple. And that's because she's from Detroit and I'm from the Big Apple, New York. And I'm pretty much Instagram, Ebony Bombshell. That's my Instagram handle. And if you do have Clubhouse, I'm Queen Tea on Clubhouse.
Did you guys hear that? If you didn't and you want her to repeat it, let me look at this comment. Katrina Rogers says, hello. You have Billy on here giving you the heart emoji. Dante Fisher. Hey, Dante. Oh, my girls. So I also teach a expressive writing course, Right for My Soul. So I have some of my hitters on here, so they came to support. I definitely wanted to read your story. I'm going to be checking your page to see if you drop anything. I will repost it on my page. Please, I sent you the link for my group, ExSTARdinary Publishing. For anyone who's not on there, hey, Testifa is ExSTARdinary Writers, not ExSTARdinary Publishing, but ExSTARdinary Writers. That's the group. Please post your book in there as soon as it drops. Everyone, please go out and support. We have to support each other. We have to support our Black writers, okay? We need that support. Anything else that you getting some people are leaving you messages? Is there anything that you want to say to anyone before you go? Or is there any questions anyone want to ask too?
Yeah, definitely here to answer questions. But if anybody has, I'm one of those authors that if you have questions or just, anything, my inbox is always open. I have weird hours. I write late at night. So I'm up late at night. So pretty much I'm one of those authors you can interact with. If you have questions, feel free to just ask.
I want to be one of those late night writers so bad. And in my mind, I said I'm going to do it. But the way I'm set up with them 6-year-old, 4-year-old, and I work, I will sit up and that laptop will be right on top of me. I
pretty much write till I fall asleep because we're doing remote. We're doing hybrid now. So I'm at my job 2 days a week, but the rest of the time I'm home. So whatever time I fall asleep, I just have to just get up at 8:30 just to greet the class. But my first class starts till 10. So I have those weird hours now.
Okay, I have a question for you. It says from Candy. She said, who is your inspiration?
That's hard to really put down. I'm one of those. Before a writer, I was a reader. I read Nikki Turner, Terry Woods. I've read Eric Jerome Dickey. I've read pretty much anything you could think of. And I've always read books since, I want to say 13. Most of my, I guess, writing inspiration comes from, I want to say from a lot of Nikki Turner books. And lately I've motivated and moved over to urban romance. Alexandria House definitely is one of them who really has exuded everything that I want to do as far as urban romance, period.
Wow, that is awesome. You mentioned Nikki Turner was the first person to take a shot on me. She published, and that's how I made it to the New York bestsellers list because of Nikki Turner. And she has been a great mentor to me. So shout out to Nikki. I told y'all she bomb. Aisha said, what's the name of the book that you were just reading? It is called Unattainable Love, a Valentine's Day novella, right?
Yes.
Right? Okay. And I have it going on the screen. It's going across the screen. And Carmen Bird says facts. She's up and she does answer. So she said that you do answer, but she... Let me ask you a question. As an author, what's one of the best, I would say, experiences of being an author? And I'm also going to ask you the opposite.
I guess just seeing your vision come to life, just knowing that you spend all these hours and sleepless nights and, just on pins and needles, waiting for this to be released. Just when the Amazon link and it goes live, that's one of the best for me. And I have like jitters, like release date, because I'm like, oh my gosh, are they going to really feel this? Are they going to understand? But each time I get positive feedback, and that just makes me continue writing.
Great. That is awesome. Let me ask you the opposite of that question. Have you run into any stumbling blocks or maybe an experience that make you kind of like, this is what I don't like with writing, publishing books?
I've run in quite a few. One that stuck out most to me is I had an author who wanted, help in becoming a self-published author. And at the time I was just transitioning from being with a published author to just getting into the whole business of self-publishing. And this time I was in between finding a good editor for my book. And once I did get the editor and didn't like the work at all, I had the task of re-editing the book myself. And so this really hurt my, as far as like my 5-star reviews, it really hurt as far as that. And a particular author, I was giving the book free. It was like a Christmas book. I said, I'm going to give this book for free just because it's Christmas and I want to do something. And the author jumped in my inbox and was like, I wouldn't even promote this book because it's missing a period. And one of it was missing like something that was just like not even major. It was something minor that literally just, re-edit. And I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. but he kept going on and on.
Kept going on, right? So it wasn't constructive criticism.
It was like you kept, yeah, you should, and it was just the way his approach. Had it just been something, okay, you know, I wasn't coming off wrong or anything. It's just he just continuously kept messaging me, like you should be more, you know, observing what you put out. You should put more into. It was just the way that he was saying it, and then I really had to. I'm sorry, I had to get Brooklyn on him. I'm like, listen, I you, and you just keep going on. And as an author, you should know how we feel about our stuff.
Yes.
The point. Like, we could take criticism, but when it's coming from somebody who's in the same shoes as you, it does not feel right, and you keep antagonizing the situation. And so I just literally was like, okay, I can't deal with this person anymore, so I just blocked them. But that was one of the lowest of points I've had, because I could take constructive criticism from any points in any aspect. But as you coming from another author and you continuously keep messaging after I already approached the situation,
it wasn't meant to be anything positive. I was going to ask you. I think that's what I see sometimes in the groups that upsets me. It's not even the readers that are so harsh to another author. Sometimes it's authors. It's like black on black crime. Author on author crime. It's just like, if you know anything, you know that no book is 100% error free.
Exactly.
And I know me, anybody that know me know I do stages and stages and stages. Well, I don't do it because I know my strengths and weaknesses, but I have a great editor and I pay for that extra edits, you know, and it's stages and stages. And I read every time. As soon as she edit, I don't just take the edits. I read the whole book again. And if I find a mistake, I send it back. And if she fixed that, I go read it again, because sometimes not even the editor, when you take it off to a typesetter, sometimes they hit and make a mistake too. I've had that happen. And so, you know, you just keep reading and until you find, you know, it's kind of good for you, but sometimes you don't get everything. And I think another author should understand the struggle that we go through, especially when you're writing. You know, we're not just taking on the laptop and just writing. We spend hours writing, you know, hours editing, getting it typeset, you know, working on the interior and outerior design. And it's a lot, you know. So I'm glad you mentioned that author on author crime, because we need to stop it.
Yeah.
And that's what this platform is for, uplifting other authors. You know, no one can read. I guarantee it's people who are reading whole books in a day. So that means unless you're writing a book a day, trust me, another author getting a shine is not going to bother you. You know, it's no one is in competition with no one. Your book can get read, because as soon as she reads your book, she will put it down and read another person. If you write a book, she will grab your book. There's no need for us not to be working together and uplifting each other. You said the different genres of urban fiction. What were they that you had? Paranormal. What else?
Urban fiction and urban romance.
Okay, do you have a preference for anyone?
It changes every month, but honestly, I prefer writing urban romance or urban paranormal, and I prefer more of paranormal, because with paranormal, you can do so much more with it versus just writing. It's like anything you could think of, you can put in a book. And, you know, there's some people who are like diehard paranormals, and, you know, they'll take something you said, like somebody walking through a wall, and they're like, well, you can't do that until you have this power. You have those still, but
no.
They're more.
So wait a minute. You need to know the formula. You need to know the magic formula.
It's ridiculous when I tell you. Like, when I wrote my first paranormal, I wrote it more of as a challenge, because I was originally signed to a publisher, and my publisher did not want to touch it. Didn't care if it would hit #1. He said no. So when I started writing it, I'm like, I have this great story, and I know it's not told yet, because urban paranormal, as far as for African Americans, there's not too many of us.
Not a lot.
There's a lot of sci-fi and, you know, thriller and mystery, but there's not urban paranormal. So when I had I'm like, I want to write this. I know it's gonna. I can't even stress how I know it's gonna be, but my publisher said no. And so when I originally wrote the story, I did a lot of research. So the paranormal I wrote is about the Grim Reaper falling in love with a human. And so in order for that to work, I had to research the name. I had to research, you know, is there another place other than heaven and earth and purgatory? And there is. So I had to do a lot of research before even putting the book out.
To make it authentic.
Exactly. And so when I put it out, I had some, you know, supernatural powers and things like that put in it. And one particular one that somebody wrote, and she inboxed me. She didn't write it on the review. She's like, the book was great, but I just want to let you know. So the sister had a power where she had wings, that she could sprout wings. So when she was on Earth, in order for her to sprout wings, she had to control her power. So she's like, well, she should have been able to control it before she, went to Earth. And it's like things like that. And I'm like, okay, I didn't really think of that, but okay, for the part, I'll make sure. So, they're critical, but they're very loyal, and they'll be in your inbox almost every other day. Like, are you going to write another? Are you going to write another? And those are the ones that, my paranormal was my first bestseller, and it stayed on the best-selling list for about, I want to say, a week. And then after it went from number 1, it stayed from the top 10 for a while. So and they'll constantly, say, where's this book? Where's this book? So that's why I prefer paranormal, because I don't have so much restrictions as I do with fiction.
What's the name of that book you was talking about? If someone wanted to see it,
it's called A Love Between Two Worlds.
I love the name too. The two worlds. And I see the way how you talk, you can almost see how you use criticism. I love it. Like, even the feedback, we always say write reviews. Mm-hmm. And even when it's bad, it seems that you have an open mind with it, and you don't let it define you. And also you're receptive to learning from it. Like you said, when the lady said, no, you have to do this, she's like, okay, I take that in consideration. Mm-hmm. If you can tell, so I'm gonna let you go, because I know you have your husband and your family. If you can leave any authors, because I have inspiring authors and readers on the page. And I actually spoke to a young lady today who she's trying to figure out what she needs to do. She had a publicist. Well, let me not say that. She's trying to put out a book, and she received a lot of rejection letters. And I explained to her, rejection letters is something that you have to have. You're going to see it. Tough skin. And Stephen King, Curry, was rejected so many times he threw it in the trash, and his wife took his script out. And that made him, $20 million in 2012. So it's almost like everybody, a million people could tell you that your book is horrible, but to keep going. But then she now want to get a publicist, and she said it was a publicist that was charging her, I think, a retainer each month, and also charging her a fee to do things for new writers that's doing it, because I didn't suggest it. I said, I didn't suggest you. It was almost like $10,000, like I think it was $900 a month and stuff like that.
That's like the vanity publishing. I would definitely never tell an aspiring author, sometimes some people feel it's better to have somebody on their behalf, which is great. But, it's better to do the footwork yourself in the beginning. Do the letters on your own and try to get, a lot of them will do as far as, okay, I will try to get you within these big box publishing, but this is the fee that I'll need, versus anything. For me, what I tell people is anybody that asks you to pay for anything up front, if you're published, run fast.
That's what I told. I said that. I said no one should be asking for money up front, especially a publisher, because they make money when you make money.
Exactly. So run as fast as you can. I tell people all the time, because, I've done both. So I know that a lot of people are not financially ready to self-publish, because it's an expensive journey. It's not something that you get a cover from this person and edits from that person and just merge it together. You have to have so much, not even so much, but it's an expensive journey where you have to, find your footing. So I tell people to always outweigh your options. If you feel you want to sign to a publisher, make sure it's a reputable publisher and it's not anybody asking you for costs up front. Make sure that if this is a publisher that, you're thinking of, try to speak to people in their company. See if this person will give you honest feedback. Is this publisher a really good person? Is this publisher a fair person? Will I have any issues if I decide I want to leave after fulfilling my contract? What is the split between my contract? How long will you have the rights to my book after the contract is? Ask all these questions up front, so you're not, blindsided when you decide to sign. For me, I'm enough to have a sister who's a lawyer, and also common sense to know when I sign.
You said we have a sister who's a lawyer?
We do have a sister. He will look over any contract anybody wants. So if you have a question, inbox me and I will get to her. But
I hear that.
That's
good.
Yeah, I definitely had that where she looked over the contract and said, oh no, he's saying he wants this for this, try to see. And I was able to negotiate a better As far as split, I was able to negotiate majority as far as I didn't want to do 4 books. I wanted to do 3. And I completed the 3 books within 2 months. So, yeah. So I was able to really see the upsides of publishing. And when I decided to self-publish, I just, found people that I was, able to trust as far as with what the look I wanted for my book, what kind of typesetting I wanted. I was able to do all of that. And I've had some bumps in the road because I found people who are not the best judge of character and people who were very shady. And I was able to, dust myself off and try, but definitely try to, find what's the good fit for you. Do your inquiry letters and do all the legwork on your own first.
Yes. Amen.
Because they'll sit around and say, hey, I gave 50 people and these other, they rejected. Make sure anything that you sign, that you read over more than once. Make sure that anybody who you do business with does have a good reputation, because reputation is a lot in this industry. People will, basically say this person don't trust because I solicit them for outsourcing for work and I haven't received it. And this is, make sure you check. Don't just go
research. Do some research.
Research is key. Don't just go in the groups and take people's word for it. Just your own independent research and, try to reach out to any friends who are in the industry or in the business. They will be the ones who are most likely to tell you truthful information.
That was awesome. You just dropped some gem and you kind of validated what I think. I'm a researcher. I'm going to come to your page. I'm going to find who you work with. I'm going to, if I see someone speaking to you, I'm going to follow them. I'm going to look. I'm going to see. Because I found that some people.
I'm going to put in a search bar if you're new. Hashtag if something came up. If you change.
There's some people that have multiple pages and they be sitting down there leaving reviews for their own self in these groups and it's them, you know. And then it's a lot. So you can't just see that someone, she said he is a great editor. That's probably him himself, from a whole nother page. So you guys be mindful of that. I'm going to let you go, but I want to ask you, how long did it take you? You said that you have 2 books you're working on. How long does it usually take you to write a book?
If I'm in a great and my husband doesn't bother me, it takes about 3, maybe 4 weeks. If the characters start talking and continuously talking 3-4 weeks. But with the work schedule now, it's taking me a little bit longer because now we're in the middle of the school and I have to do IT goals. I have to do kindergarten. I have a lot of paperwork for work, and being that now I have to use my own computer. I have a back burner, but I'm trying to revamp and try to get things done within the 3-4 weeks like I've been doing. So it takes about the book that's supposed Valentine's Day is dropping. I'm pretty much done with it. I just like to go over and make sure everything that I had was touched. So this book is taking me a little bit longer, but the book that I have releasing right after that one, all the characters are literally talking every 2 days. And so I can just go back and type in, but I'm more, if I have a steady rhythm, I can finish a book within the 2-3 weeks.
That's awesome. Not me. Not I said the cat. I be sitting here with them 4 sections. So, my books be coming out 2 years apart. So I commend you on that. And I'm going to let you go. I ask every author before they leave, I'm going to ask you, what is the one item that you need in your writing area when you go to write?
A glass of wine.
Boom. There you go. So, and you hear it, and we know that makes sense, right? Cocktail and literature.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for being on First Chapter. Thank you for kicking it off. This interview was great and amazing. I'm going to stay connected with you. Please make sure to send me your book as soon as it drops and share in ExSTARdinary. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. So everyone, hold on. Everyone, let me put my information up so you guys have it. I am Keisha, Dr. Wizard. I penned out the Keisha Starr in case you don't know me. You should be if you're on this daggone page. Here's all my information. I need you guys, honestly, too, to go to my Keisha Starr fan page. Not just on this page. This page is maxed out. So please go to Keisha Starr fan page and like that page. I have a writing group, ExSTARdinary Writers. Please follow that group because it's going to be authors. And I plan to move First Chapter into my writing group. So it's not going to be here. I'm just doing this here for you guys to see it. It's going to move to Extraordinary Writers. If you look at the bottom, you'll see all my handles, social media, email address. If you're an author and you want to be on First Chapter, right now I have the whole month of February and pretty much March. I think I got the last Friday in March. But if you want to be on First Chapter, please inbox me, or you can send me an email to bookkeishastarr@gmail.com. Again, it's right there pointing out in the front. Let me put my fingers down right there. And just show some love and support. Okay? Bye. See you guys. Oh, let me say hi to everybody that was speaking to me. Shanae, I love you, my best friend. Hey, Ty, how are you? Everyone that came out, Carmen, Tasha, I see you. Latifa, I need you to finish your book so you can get on here, girl. I need you on here. Katrina, I love you. Hey, Katrina. Everybody, Vinny, Testifa, Aisha, Dante, my baby. Okay, I hope I got everyone. Thank you so much. See you guys.